Hey, welcome back to an all-new episode here at Let's Talk Lions. That's right, I'm in my vehicle, like I'm Gridiron Blitz. Shout out to my boy, who is always in his car making videos. Well, the Lions have begun to cut players as by today, 4 p.m., we got to be down to a 53-man roster. So we saw a few cuts come in last night. Just want to talk about those. Right off the bat, I do want to say, I understand that these guys, they're losing their jobs, and that sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. It's a part of the nature of the business, and it's a weird thing to be like, hey, this guy just lost his job, but it works out for our team. So I don't know. It's kind of like an odd thing to talk about every year, but here we are. First and foremost, the Detroit Lions have cut or will be cutting Tim Boyle, backup quarterback, and this one had to happen. I mean, this one had to happen. It sucks because right off the bat, I was pretty hyped about Boyle coming to Detroit because I saw a lot of potential with him sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, his college career was abysmal, but we saw some raw talent in the 2019 preseason. However, the Packers obviously saw something when they chose Jordan Love instead of him as the heir apparent. Pretty cut and dry, and so he comes to Detroit, and I was hoping to see him grow, develop, and we just haven't. Tim Boyle, you look at him in these preseason games, and going to training camp watching him, my guy's just missing, overthrowing, throwing behind, throwing in the dirt. Like, he has been all over the place, and so this is a cut that I think we all saw coming. Also, shout out to my coworker, his dad, who gave me this shirt. It's a denim shirt with a Detroit Lions logo on it, and it is sweet. Tim Boyle had to go. Had to go. Speaking of quarterbacks, David Blough sounds like he may be on the chopping block as well. I haven't seen if that is actually confirmed, but it sounds like it. David Blough, I love as a human being. I love, through Hard Knocks, seeing his relationship with his wife. And, that's what makes this so tough when guys get cut. When you're like, I like you as a human. But as a backup quarterback, it ain't going to work. And as QB2, David Blough is a QB3. He just is by nature. When you look at him, you look at his gameplay. However, between him and Boyle, I'm choosing Blough every time. At least Blough can scamper as scurry out of the pocket as it collapses on him. There was plays that, you can see him drop back. He's making some solid throws. But this last game against Pittsburgh, he didn't show up in a way where I was like, yeah, you are QB2 material here in Detroit. Neither him nor Boyle did. That's why the Detroit Lions are cutting both backup quarterbacks. Just going to toss it out there. The Lions, being second on the waiver wire, should get Carson Strong as Philadelphia is cutting him. Go get Carson Strong. Go get him. Go get him. From there, wide receivers, Pimpleton. Devin Funchess is a tight end, but you got Pimpleton who's going, and Pimpleton is he's got a lot of development to do. He's got to develop a ton more. There's a lot more work for him to do. He's not there yet. Kind of has like that. I mean, we watch him drop the ball against Pittsburgh on the goal line. That's a TD. Lions should have lost, 17-19 instead. We're fighting for that last TD in that 2-minute drive. So, yeah, no, man. Pimpleton had to go. He's just not ready. The development, the growth isn't there yet. After Pimpleton, this one hurts. Tom Kennedy. Tom Kennedy's gone. I love Tom Kennedy. I think Kennedy offered so much to Detroit last year when we had wide receivers that were Bush League, struggling left and right. Tom Kennedy was consistent. He was reliable. He always came through in the end. And even this year, watching him preseason practice. But the problem is with Tom Kennedy, I love him. Wish we could have kept him around. The problem is, looking at our wide receiver core, he's a wide receiver 6, 7. And if you're a wide receiver 6, 7, you also have to have some sort of special teams. You got to be a guy. on special teams. And he just wasn't, just isn't. He's not a guy on special teams. And with that being said, the Detroit Lions coaching staff look at him and say, nah, you're not gonna work here. Which sucks, because Kennedy is like your quintessential New England Patriots wide receiver. He's just this lacrosse player out there who's reliable, who's dependent every time. However, he's just this little white dude running around, making plays. Super bummed to see him go. He was a guy I felt deserved to make the active roster. However, I do understand it when you look at our wide receiver core. But this is the one that I wish we had kept around. However, them cutting him in the first round of cuts does give him an opportunity to go find employment elsewhere. So he had to go, unfortunately. Devin Funchess. Hey, that was a comeback story. Our wide receiver room was big, as we just talked about. And Funchess came in as a tight end. Didn't see enough out of him. Just didn't, he made a couple plays in that training camp Ford Family Festival, fun day. But preseason, saw him get up there, make a couple snags, 1 or 2 snags, and not enough. It's not enough for that tight end 3 spot. Speaking of not enough, Jarrad Davis. Hey, the prodigal son returns, and the prodigal son said, you know what, I want out again. Not really, he didn't want out, but Jarrad Davis, I love that the Detroit Lions coaching staff brought him back for another opportunity, because Davis, as a whole, you saw that Dan Campbell loved him. You saw that Dan Campbell loved him immediately when Campbell came here, and saw the opportunity, because who are we? It's grit. That's our identity, right? And if that's our identity, if it's grit, hey man, that's Jarrad Davis. He is a head down friggin' missile. Go bust up the QB, go break up the play. The problem is, it was his 5th-year option. He's declined. He leaves, goes to the jet skis, comes back with an opportunity to make a name for himself here in Detroit. And I think the coaching staff looked at him and said, that grit, that hard-nosed mentality, that's something that we can work with if we can harness it, if we can harness the Hulk. Man, if you can harness the Hulk, that's a great weapon to have on your side. But if you can't, your city will be friggin' destroyed. And Jarrad Davis, they tried to harness that head first, hard-nosed mentality. Some bulls you can't corral, and he's one of them. Glad we gave him a second opportunity, but he had to go in the end. So as a whole, I think the Detroit Lions, these first round of cuts, the one that hurts me is Tom Kennedy, period. What's happening? But in the end, these are cuts that we had to make. No backup quarterbacks. Jared Goff, don't you dare get hurt. Lions, go get Carson Strong. That's it for now. Keep you updated as the cuts continue to roll. All right, I got to go to work.